this very important this very important section. Well, before I go on, since we are few here, I think we should use the chat box and just maybe state our name and where we are joining from. This is just like a short activity just for us to network a little. Welcome, Jedidiah from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, while that is going on, I think we should move on. This section is part of our 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And this is observed every year from November 25th to December 10th. And this year theme is Unite to End Digital Violence Against Women and Girls. Well, I'm going to be expanding more on this for those who are actually not in the development space. So the 16 Days of Activism is a global campaign that takes place every year from November 25th, like I stated, to December 10th. And it's a worldwide call to action where individuals, communities, organizations all come together just to raise awareness and to take large steps in ending every form of digital violence against women and girls. Today is day 12 of our 16 days of activism, and we are going to be focusing on our topic for today, online safety, sextortion and online safety, protecting our dignity online. I'm going to be introducing the organization behind this message today for us. And we have two organizations, but unfailingly, I think the other one, our guest organization, is not here with us today. Not yet. She's not yet here. So we have Child and Youth Protection Foundation. That is my own organization, and we focus on youth, advocating for youth, empowering communities, protecting children and their dignity, creating awareness and opportunities for young people across Nigeria. And we are partnering with Cyber Harassment Support from Canada. It's led by our guest speaker, Vashil Vashali, who is unfortunately not here right now. Her organization focuses on individual safety for girls and women online, more like digital dignity online, worldwide, sorry, worldwide. And today we are supposed to be addressing a rising concern for young people, which is this sextortion and online safety. Why this webinar matter? Oh, this webinar is for us to address sextortion and online scam, which is, like I said, is a rising concern right now for us. And many victims stay silent out of fear and shame. And young people and women are especially targeted through social media and messaging app. CYPF and CYPF and Cyber Harassment Support are working together to break the silence and protect dignity online. Together, CYPF Nigeria and CHS Canada want to break the silence and protect our dignity online. I have already mentioned who we are, so this is just the show of it. What we'll be covering today, we're going, sorry for the break in transition. We're going to be covering what sextortion and cyberbullying looks like in real life, how online offenders target and pressure victims, why victims stay silent, and how shame works. We're also going to be looking at practical steps to stay safe and get help, and also looking at how parents and trusted adults can betterly support young people. What cyberbullying can looks like in real time, it can look like someone sending mean or sexual messages to you or your DM, or commenting something hurtful or hateful in your picture, something that you've posted. And I'm sure a lot of young individuals have gone through this, especially girls. I'm sure if we look through the chat or ask the random questions now to ladies, you will see a number of them can attest to messages just being sent randomly, or offensive things being said about them online, or bad comments. All these are something we see. Sharing or threatening to share private pictures or chats without consent. We do this often also. We have fake accounts, rumors, or group bullying. This is part of online bullying, cyberbullying, pressuring someone to send proof or pictures or videos. These are all things we these are all things that are highlighted under cyberbullying. Also, the emotional impact as something that we actually just look over. We don't really pay attention to it, but cyberbullying and sextortion can actually cause harm that than we realize. There's fear and of being exposed to mockery, there's shame, there's guilt, there's feeling, it's that feeling that you feel it's your fault, why did you do this, and then you just keep pressurizing yourself, and before you know, you enter into depression mood. These are all things we go through. There's difficulty in concentrating in school when the person who have harassed you and begin to threaten you and make you feel, oh, if you don't do this thing, I'm going to expose it to your parents, or I'm going to tell someone you did this, and you trying to keep your dignity, you lean into this, and that can distract your concentration in whatever you're doing. um these are all things that these are the emotional impact cyberbullying does to someone. So these are displayed on the screen. Can we move to the next, please? Moving forward. Mhm. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a real life story. This is a story of an 18-year-old girl who met a boy on social media. He seemed caring, loving, and they chatted every day. This is how they just love bomb you, and then they were just flowing actually. Then over time, he asked for a private picture, saying it's safe and he's willing, and if she loves him, um this is, let me just say, this is like a proof to show that she loves him. So why not? She sends the picture, and after sending the picture, he threatens to send this picture to her parents and school mates. He demanded money and kept increasing the pressure. He claimed he had done this to other girls in the same school. She felt sick and she became sick with fear. Her blood pressure rised, and she started feeling to just take her life and all those things, atom of fear and shame. So please, in the comment section, can we just highlight other or if you want to speak up, can you just help us highlight other things that people go through online? Let's make this a bit engaging. From the story, please, you can just maybe share an atom of things you think this girl might be going through. I know the story I've highlighted a lot, but maybe we can just engage further in sharing other things. Sorry, please, Jedediah, please, can we hear from you?
Good evening, everyone. So I think
Good
from
evening.
yeah, so I think what I can actually pick from here is the girl is going to be she's going to be scared basically. And I think from here this is more like asking for pictures from a girl when she does not even want to send. And I'm sure most people that are active on other social media, maybe like Snapchat, I'm sure because I've heard stories of girls that also go through this where men just spam them with naked pictures and all. So I think this thing is it kind of affects the mindset, how the person is going to react to other people, engage with other people, and also like in school and all, the person may not really be active basically because of the fear of being threatened and all those things. So I think that's what I can pick from here. I think we have some things in the comments. Someone is also raising hand. So I'll pass the mic to Faramadi to talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madi, please, really love to share. Okay, please unmute and share.
Okay, so what I wanted to give is actually an example of this kind of thing happening. Um, I was working at a newspaper and we had to cover a story. It was actually a young boy that this happened to, a 16-year-old boy. You know, he was chatting with someone online. It seemed he had a girlfriend and he was asked to send explicit pictures. And he sent them, and then the next thing the person started pressuring him for money and said that he'd share it to all the people at his school. And it was a private school, so it would have been a small community. And in his fear and in his shame, he took his own life. So I just wanted to point out that these kinds of things also happen to young boys. I know that, we're talking about it happening to everyone, but I feel sometimes there can be a neglect on the fact that it happens to young boys as well. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to give an example of. There's several cases of people being pressured. I know a friend of mine said, one day she just opened her chat on Instagram and someone had sent her explicit photos completely unprompted. So it's quite a dangerous thing. It's quite scary. I think the girl in the example that you gave must have been so afraid, especially because of, a certain shame surrounding it. She must have thought maybe her parents would have been so angry with her and things like that.
Actually, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. And yes, it doesn't only affect females. Thank you for highlighting that point. I think the aspect of male gender is almost being overlooked most times. But thank you for sharing that story. Okay. Please, Kiola, I think you have something to say. Can you share?
Yes, I have something to say. Also, one thing about cyberbullying is whereby people post their pictures out of innocency. Oh, I want to post something on social media, and then someone will not pick it because he feels like the picture is not fine, or he just feels like insulting you, and whereby they carry it to blogs, and then all of a sudden you're being insulted. People are talking bad about you. I remember the story of one of the ladies online, that was a few weeks back, that people kept talking bad about her, that she has big nose and stuff like that. And the whole thing went viral, and then all of a sudden, out of cyberbullying, she said she's not going to be allowed herself to be bullied, and she gained confidence, and people are like, oh, I like your confidence and all of that. So those are part of cyberbullying, and we should not allow people's words get to us.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing that. And that is another thing. I think I will share a personal story. I myself, I don't know, I became a bit less confident on social media because I don't know, I just feel like the way people talk down on people through their pictures that which they have posted, it just kind of bring out self-esteem, bring someone's self-esteem so low. So I personally just took a break from that. And I also can remember I can recall an incident that happened on TikTok of a lady. People kept calling her she's fat, and then they were just giving her hateful words, and this lady eventually took her life. Is anyone willing to share again? Before that, let me read some Madam Kemi stated in the comment section. Sextortion can lead to depression, anxiety, and it can lead to suicide even. Yes, that's true. It can obviously lead to suicide, and it can just destroy someone's self-esteem. Agatha Francis, she said the girl will be scared, traumatized, stressed out, and depressed. That's true. That's true. Thank you all for sorry, before we move to the next slide, I think there's a message we all need to hear from this part. It says that sextortion is the abuser fault and it is not the person's fault. I think we can all get this in case we have a personal contact with someone who is going through online sextortion. It's advisable you make this person know that this is not your fault. You help counsel this person so that the person will not get into that depression stage, because it's obviously the criminal fault. You didn't ask for that, and everyone is supposed to feel safe using your phone. I mean, you got that phone with your money, so you are supposed to feel safe using your phone. So I think we can move to the next slide, please. Okay, so we're going to be speaking on how sextortion and scam just try to make people feel safe. Like what they are trying to do to you, they just make it feel like it's a safe thing for them to go through this. So these are some typical pattern of what they do. They groom you, give you chat you daily, make you feel special, long distance and secret relationship. This is something that obviously used to lead to sextortion. Requesting for intimate pictures and videos. Slowly, that's how this arrangement is just how it flows. Once the image is received, they start to threaten you and demand for money and all those, or demand for extra pictures, extra sexual content. They use your personal information. They use the person's personal information, like the person's school, the person's name. These are what all these online criminals do to people. I think someone hand is up. Jedediah, please, your hands are up. Please share.
Good, thank you. It's not actually, I actually have a question because I think it was both of us that we got discussing some time ago, and we talked about the use of stickers and memes. when you just take someone's picture and you just come up with a sticker, cut out a sticker without the person's permission and all. So I just want to get people's opinion on what they think about stickers. Is that, can we classify that as cyberbullying? Because sometimes people don't really like what comes out of stickers too, because I can't imagine myself in a very bad picture where somebody just picks out my picture and start using it around. And stickers go viral a lot because a lot of people use stickers. So I just want to hear people's opinion on what they think about stickers. Do we classify that as cyberbullying, or where should we classify the use of stickers, using people's pictures as stickers? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And that is actually, yes, that is a good point. Please, can we get your opinions on that?
Yes, stickers is cyberbullying if the person is not aware that, oh, I want to use your picture, and is not just sent only you. When he sends it out to other friends and all of that, that people are being talking about it, then I think it's cyberbullying. But if there's a mutual understanding, oh, we are friends, I like this your picture, I want to use that for sticker, I would say that's not cyberbullying. But when you use it the wrong way, it's cyberbullying.
Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing that. Faramadi, please, can you unmute and speak?
Okay, so I think it depends on the context because most stickers actually, I think so many people aren't aware that they've been used for the sticker until it goes viral. I know there's so many memes as well. In fact, most memes, the people weren't aware until they went viral. It has helped some people start careers and things like that. But I think it becomes cyberbullying when it's deliberately hurtful. When the the situation is made to seem dark in a way, like instead of just it being something funny that people are talking about, it's like taking a moment where you were in pain and turning it into something that's funny, or taking something that you thought was just like a simple photo and like deliberately saying wicked things in the picture and having it go viral. Because there's this is a TV show. This is not a real story, but it was a case of someone's private diary was exposed and people took pictures and they turned it into memes online. So, in that case, that's cyberbullying. It's not like, oh, there was just a picture of me that somebody thought was funny and made, go viral. Is that this was a deliberate situation where I was in pain and the person is using it to make a mockery of me without my consent. So it depends on how the person presents it. Because if it's just, oh, this is a funny, like facial expression, let's use it as a sticker, versus, oh, this is a very horrible thing that happened to this person, let's make a joke about it. That tends to be what differentiates it, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Do anybody have anything to say? So on the chats, Francis Agatha says using someone's picture as a sticker becomes cyberbullying when it's done without consent or used to embarrass or mock or hurt that person or individual. But if permission is being granted by the individual, then it's fine. But then, okay, thank you so much, Agatha, for sharing this. I have a follow-up question. So, okay, what if I had given consent and then within the thing, I now saw that okay, this thing is now turning to joke. Oh. Does that still count? Do anybody have a response to that? Yes, please, Faramadi.
Um, I think if you give consent for the picture to be used and is used for something wicked, then it is cyberbullying. Because when you were giving consent, you didn't know that it was going to be something wicked. In fact, that might even be a worse version. Because if it was used without your consent, that's horrible enough. But you giving consent thinking it's going to be one thing is going to be a positive thing and it's actually being something wicked, that is definitely cyberbullying.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay, can we move on? Sorry, before we move on, I think one important thing we can note from this particular slide is many criminals target many girls from the same school and area. I think maybe they just have this kind of image that since this one have done this, I mean, I asked for a nude picture and you sent me this nude picture, meaning this is how you people flow in your school. So they just keep targeting the same school and the same area girls. They often recycle the same threats and lies. That is obviously true. They'll keep telling you, oh, I'm going to share your picture to the public. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. It's something we should know and look out for as red flags. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Why victims stay silent. So since we are interacting, I think we can just share on this. Please, can we just share on why we think most victims stay quiet? Why it is a norm for victims to stay quiet especially concerning digital violence. Okay, in the chat section, Madam Kemi said shame. That's true. Because of shame, you do not want people to see you as what you are not. Faramade, please, can you share? Unmute and share.
I think obviously there's going to be a lot of fear around what are my parents going to think, what are my friends going to think, oh my gosh, what are my school authorities going to think. I think another thing is that sometimes even if you know that your family might not turn you away or your friends might not shame you, you kind of feel that maybe they won't take it seriously because it's online violence. They think, oh, but if somebody is, being sexually violent to you in person, no, we have to deal with this. But it's just somebody on your phone. So why can't you just block the person? Or why can't you just this? Or why can't you just that? I think some people might not treat it with the same severity because, oh, but it's just on your laptop. You know that if you close your laptop, then it's gone. I think a lot of people don't realize that, they can block the person, but it might still be in their mind. And they might think, oh, but if I block this person, how do I know that that's not going to anger them to actually share this thing anyway? So, I feel like that makes a lot of people very scared that even if they tell their parents and their parents aren't angry at them, and even if they tell their friends and their friends don't shame them or mock them, that nothing can be done and like the situation can't go away because they might feel that maybe they can't go to the police or they can't go to school authorities, they can't go to anyone that might help them. But another thing I'd like to point out is that it's a crime that you can actually report.
Actually, that's true. Jedediah, please, can you unmute and share?
Yeah, so I was going to talk about the part of reporting. I think a lot of people don't actually know that it's a crime and they are supposed to actually report. Because I think like a lot of people also have the mindset, okay, yeah, Nigeria, once you report, most times they don't take you serious and all. But I just want to let us know that we can actually report because I know you can report cyberbullying to the Nigerian Police Force cybercrime reporting portal. There's a portal where you can actually just go online and give out the information about you being bullied. And trust me, things are going to be done because this is the platform where you can report. So I think we need to spread the message of telling people that okay, there are places you can actually report cyberbullying or when you are being when you're in sextortion, when people are harassing you and all, there are places you can actually report and they will follow up the whole thing. So I just wanted to point out the fact of reporting. Most people don't know how to report, where to report to, and what to do, basically. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jedediah, for sharing, and thank you, Faramade, for pointing. You people pointed out that cyber crime is actually a crime that you can report, and I think a lot of us are not aware. So, as youth, we can research on that because there are laws that covers that. There's a Cyber Crime Act law that covers that. So you can check that online, know that this is your right. There is a law to it, and you can report this to any force. And I'll also advise you go with an organization like Child and Youth Protection Foundation or any organization that work with GBV to support you so that your movement won't be stopped elsewhere. While in the course of the discussion, our guest speaker, our partner organization just came online. I'm so happy she's here. So please, you people, join me to welcome Vashil Vishali. I hope I pronounced that well. Thank you for joining us. And Vashil is actually the founder and the president of Cyber Harassment Support. She's a dedicated worker to promoting online dignity and supporting people who have been harmed online. Vashil, it's truly awesome to have you with us. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to be passing the mic to you right now.
Hey, good
Welcome,
morning.
Vashil.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone, wherever you are. Huge thanks to CYPF Nigeria. I'm very glad that my request has been accepted. And Today's session is a joint awareness program from Cyber Harassment Support CHS and CYPF Nigeria Child Youth Protection Foundation. We are very happy to be with you to talk about sextortion and online safety and how we can protect our digital dignity. This topic might feel heavy or a little uncomfortable, but I want you to remember one thing from the beginning of this session. It is not about blaming anyone. It's about protecting lives, giving you choices, and making sure that you never feel alone. Organizations like CYPF and CHS are here for you. So, with that in mind, I'm happy that you guys have already started. Do you want me to take over or to continue?
Yes, I will actually want you to continue from where we've stopped. So while you were not here with us, we were speaking on while victims stay quiet, and a lot of people have shared in their input on why they think victims usually stay quiet. And we highlighted some that the law concerning sexual harassment, on digital sexual harassment are not being pushed out for young people to know their rights and all that, but we've spoke about them. You can help us fleshing that and move forward.
For sure,
Thank
for
you.
sure. No problem. So I'll before that, I'll just give you a little background. Let me briefly tell you who we are and who I am to take this seminar and talk about why victims stay silent. So, Cyber Harassment Support is a Canadian nonprofit organization. We focus on cyber harassment like sextortion, digital safety. We provide emotional support, guidance, and awareness for victims and communities. And our vision is digital dignity for all. We work with youth, women, and families and communities in Canada and internationally, including now as we are partners in this presentation with CYPF Canada. Now, as you all must be knowing, as you have started, what is cyberbullying and what sextortion is all about. So, sextortion being a crime, uh, why victims stay silent? That's a big question. Many people ask, why don't the victims just speak up? Let's talk about it. At least, from my point of view, what I have observed in Canada, internationally, and what has pushed me here today is actually a real story from Nigeria. And that actually shook me a lot. And I had to write to CYPF when a young girl, 18 years old girl, I'll not be taking the name, was harassed. I'm a mom, and I see young people as a future of a country, the future of the globe. And when they are harassed, it actually hurts me a lot. So victims often stay silent because they are terrified of their parents' reaction or afraid that school or church may judge them. They feel deep shame and guilt, and they may believe it's my fault to send the picture in the first place. They also fear that no one will believe them and that the image will really be shared if they speak up. So they suffer silently and alone. Our key message here is silence protects the criminal, not you. Asking for self is a sign of strength, not weakness. If someone like this happens, you deserve support, not punishment. So that's why we are here to make you aware. And these are a few of my thoughts why people stay silent. I would like to navigate to the next slide, please. Thank you. So I'd like to tell you, with that in mind, what you should not do in case there is sextortion. If you are if you are in the situation, or you know someone in the situation, here are some simple things that you can do. Do not send more intimate photos or videos. It will not fix the problem. It will give them more material. Do not send more money, even if they promise to delete the picture. Most of the time, they do not stop. They keep on asking money. Do not start begging or negotiating. That only shows them you are scared and gives them more power. And most importantly, do not suffer alone in silence. A short reminder here is paying or pleasing them does not guarantee they will stop. They often come back again. So we need a different approach. Let's see what the different approach is. Next slide, please. Okay, let's now talk. So what we can do instead. First, pause and breathe. Your life and safety is more important than any images. Second, save evidences. Take screenshots of the chats and threads. Note their usernames, phone numbers, email address, and payment receipts, or transfer screenshots. They may help you later to report. Third, block and report. Block their accounts on social media and messaging platforms, and use the platform report function wherever possible. Fourth, tell a trusted adult, a parent, a older sibling, a teacher, a counselor, a mentor. You can simply say, someone is threatening me with a private picture. You do not need to share every detail with everyone, but you do not also need to carry it alone. Fifth, protect your accounts. In case anything as such happens, change your passwords immediately. Use two-factor authentication and log out of unknown devices. Key message here is you are not alone. There are people and organizations who can help you. We are ready to help you, including CYPF Nigeria and CHS. So we can go to the next slide, please. Sextortion is just one type of harm, but there are other digital harms that we need to be aware of. I'll just give you a top overview of the most common scams. One category is email or messaging scam. These are fake emails or messages pretending to be bank, a government office, or a delivery company, or even scholarship or visa offers. They often ask you to click on a link or enter your detail or pay small processing fee. Once you click or pay, they steal the information or your money. Another category which most of us are fond of is online shopping. At least I am during Christmas season and all. So fake online shops on Instagram, WhatsApp, websites, they ask you to pay full amount upfront and disappear. They may use stolen photos or products to look real. So message here is, if something looks too good, too urgent, or only your private inbox, it's important to slow down and double check. Let's go to the other slide, please. I will also continue with some other common scams. We also have impersonation scams. Now, coming up of AI, impersonation scams have become so real. The photos are morphed, the voices are morphed. They might pretend to be a relative abroad, religious leaders, sugar daddies or mummies, investors, or crypto experts. They build trust first. They ask for money or sensitive information. A simple rule that can protect you: if someone needs quick money plus secrecy, slow down, verify through another channel, and talk to trusted adults. Real help does not need secrecy. So here also pause, think, and then act. Next slide, please. Okay, being teenagers and youngsters, I know a lot of people use Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram. Popular apps like Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, or anonymous Q&A apps all have good sides and risks as well. Some features like disappearing messages, view one's photos can give you false feeling of safety. Risks include strangers adding you and asking for private chat, pressure to send you pictures or to go on private video calls, and sharing too much of personal information such as your school, your location, or family details. Key principle that can help us: don't add strangers just because they look attractive or cool. Be careful with disappearing photos. They can still save via screenshot or another device. Remember, once something is online, you cannot fully control it. And I must repeat here, digital imprints are real. So, whatever you think you do not want on the projector of your school, in the hallway, don't send it. Do not overshare online. Next slide, please. Here are 5 golden rules that can help protect you. Pause before you share. Ask yourself, can this hurt me later if others see it? Never send intimate images under pressure. Love that demands this kind of proof is not love, it is manipulation. Protect your accounts, use strong passwords. And two-factor authentication. Do not share passwords with friends and partners. I would say try to use password manager. I will talk about password manager maybe in some other session. That will take a long time. But yeah, if you can Google and figure out password managers, that will be helpful for you. Talk early if something goes wrong. Earlier you talk, the more options that are to protect you. Waiting in silence usually makes the problem feel bigger. Respect others' privacy. Don't forward someone else's private picture, even if as a joke. You can become a part of the harm without realizing it. If we all follow these 5 golden rules, the internet would already become a safer place. Let's go to the other slide, please. So this slide is important for any parent, caregivers, or teachers listening to this part, especially for you. Children and youth need not just rules, but relationship and safety. Some ideas: create an open atmosphere at home where mistakes can be discussed, not punished with shame. Try to familiarize yourself with their world, the apps they use, the slang they use, and what online feels like to them. Avoid being extremely strict or extremely free with technology. Instead, aim at guided freedom, clear boundaries with understanding. Know what kind of people your children are interacting with online. Use parental controls wherever suitable. And talk about line between fun online and trouble online. Remember, you are the role model. The way you use your phone, social media, and how you talk about others online teaches them what is normal. When children trust that you will listen first and help, They're far more likely to come to you when anything goes wrong. Let's go to the other slide, please. As we come close to the end, let me tell you what are the next steps and support. If you ever feel unsafe online and you think something is wrong, talk to a trusted adult, a parent, a sibling, a teacher, a counselor, or a mentor. If you are in Nigeria, you can reach out to CYPF Nigeria through official channels for guidance and support. You can also reach out to Cyber Harassment Support for awareness, resources, and guidance. Our website is chssupport.org. Our WhatsApp channel, the number is +1 365 351 5396. You can also visit our YouTube channel where we try to give updated tips on cyber safety. Our final message is your life is more precious than any picture, any mistake, any threat. You deserve safety, dignity, and respect, both offline and online. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, here we are. We will now open the space for questions. Remember, no question is stupid. If you are worried or confused, that means it is important. We're probably not the only one, you are not probably the only one thinking about it. We welcome to put your questions in the chat if you feel uncomfortable. You can unmute and ask if you're comfortable. If you prefer something more private, you can always reach out to CYPF and CHS after this session. I open the floor for questions. Anybody, any questions? Please go ahead, unmute yourself and fire your questions.
Thank you, Vasha. Thank you for the session. It was a very lovely one. And thank you, Gladys, too, for taking us down the train. It was a very lovely one. So I think I have two questions. Yeah, I actually have two questions. I think first question is I want to talk about the role parents play in actually the role parents and teachers unintentionally play in keeping victims silent. I know you've talked about how they can shift, but I think we need to emphasize more on the role. So I think I just want to ask questions on what role the parents and the teachers around play when it comes to digital violence and cyberbullying and sextortion. And my second question is from your experience, I think you've actually worked with a lot of people in this space. So I want you to kind of help us highlight most of the unexpected patterns you've seen in perpetrators, something victims rarely realize when they are close to being extorted or being harassed. Because I think most people may not really be able to tell the signs because they are patterns these people use. So I think I want you to help us highlight some of these patterns from your experience. I don't know if you got that. Thank you.
Okay. Let me summarize what I understand from your question. You want to understand more about the roles of the parents when somebody is online harassed, and you want to understand about partnership. Sorry, I did not catch it well, the second question. Can you please repeat for me? If I understood the first question correctly, please let me know.
Yes, you got the first question correctly. So the second question is, what is the most unexpected pattern you've seen in perpetrators? Something victims rarely realize. So I think that's the second question. In people that are the perpetrators that have actually extort people, because I think they have patterns. So what are these patterns that you've seen that are more common among these
Okay, I
perpetrators?
get your question now. The patterns. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, first let
Thank
me
you.
let me answer you the first question. That is about what is the parents' role. I'm myself a parent. I understand children are in teenage. They are curious. They are coming up of all these apps. They are very curious to explore online and see their independence, explore themselves and the self-identity online. As parents, we have to create a healthy atmosphere at home, talk to them, talk to the children, what they are doing, Secondly, what we do is we familiarize ourselves what they are using. Suppose, say, Snapchat, TikTok, at least we should know the safety features. Right now, we are conducting a seminar for youth, but we might have a seminar wherein we will talk to parents what exactly parents can do. But to sum up, the nutshell is that we have to be close to our children. Before judging or before scolding, we have to find the solution of the problem. It is not that we keep on blaming. Because of that fear, the children really become very scared. I had already presented in this slide, but I will read it out to you. One of the stories. This is my writing, and this is a real story from Nigeria. Okay, and I will also explain after that. I'll explain you the pattern. So this is a real story which has been handled by CHS, and it is from a girl from Nigeria, and that is why I'm here, and I really want to address, because if it's one girl, then there will be number of youngsters. So I'll keep the name anonymous. An 18 years old girl meets a boy on social media, possibly Snapchat. He seems to be very caring and loving. They chat every day. Over time, he asks for private photos, promising it will be safe and it will make him love her more. She trusts him. She sends the picture. After that, immediately, his behavior changes. He begins to threaten her. He says he will send the picture to her parents and her school. He asks for money and then he keeps asking for more. He even says he has done this to other girls too in the same school. She becomes sick out of this fear. Her blood pressure rises. She feels like she does not want to live because she is so afraid of this shame. This is called sextortion. And it is abuse and it is a crime. The fault is not with the girl who trusted someone. The fault is with the person who misused the picture. And that is where CHS helped and wants to help other women as well, or other children as well. So, how sextortion and romance scam actually work? What is the pattern? The pattern is that most sextortion and romance scam follow a similar pattern. First there is grooming, kind words, daily chats. Oh, you are so special. Often this relationship is long distance, or they ask to keep you secret. Over time, or sometimes suddenly, they start asking you intimate photos or videos. Once they receive the images, the tone changes. They start using threats. I will send this to your parents, your school, your church, or the employer. They demand for money, more photos, or sexual act on video. They use personal information, what they have gathered from you, your name, your school, your year, location, parents' name, to make the threat feel more real. Many criminals target many girls of the same school area and recycle the same tricks. If you recognize this pattern, please know you are not alone. There are steps that you can take. That is where CYPF and CHS can actually help if you step up and speak to us. And we have helped the girl, and I'm very proud to say she is now in a position to go and report to the police, and she is really doing good in her school, and that is what we want to achieve. Hope that answers a little bit. Any further questions?
Thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing that. Coming from the Nigerian aspect, I think one thing parents can actually do for kids that go through this is, maybe, I think these people who usually do this to them are, they usually say things that our parents don't tell us. Like, in Nigerian, parents hardly compliment their child, and these children groom the girls online. When you dress up, a Nigerian dad hardly say, "Oh, my daughter, you look good in this dress," or something. And those are what people online say to them. And that is where the grooming starts from. When a guy starts complimenting me, he's giving me a little confidence in myself, something I don't get from my parents. And then before you know it, I become a victim of online harassment. I just wanted to add that.
Oh, yeah, that's very
Thank
valid.
you.
That's very valid, because we all are humans. We need to feel appreciated. you touched the real root problem. Thanks for highlighting that. Any more questions? Okay, next slide, please. Oh, there's another question. Please go ahead.
Jeb.
Yeah, please go ahead with the questions.
All right, thank you. So I actually saw a question in the chat box, so I just decided to bring it out. So the question is, what law protects victims of sextortion? And the person says Nigeria precisely. So I think I'll just highlight few laws in Nigeria that actually protects people, that protects victims of sextortion. I know in Nigeria we have the Cyber Crime Act of 2015, and this particular law protects every citizen from sextortion and any online violence, any digital violence. We also have the VAP Act, Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. That one also covers the broad range of gender-based violence and also applies to anything online, bullying, online harassment too. And we also have the Child Rights Act of 2003. This also provides specific protections for minors and relevant provisions of when against for the victims when they are used for sextortion as children. So I think these are like the three major laws in Nigeria that protect victims from sextortion. And I think sometimes back we had a social media post where we talked about some of these laws on CYPF social media page. I'll try to get that and send that. I'll repost it again so people can actually be aware of these laws. So I think these are the few laws that I could point out right now to just talk about. And we can always go online. To just search and read more about these laws. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's very valuable information. Yeah, that is, and I would like to research and put that in my notes and my slides in future. Just if you, it will be helpful if you put these pointers over the email and send it to me. I'll definitely include this as the Nigerian laws, and that will be helpful for me in further presentation or dealing with any person who approaches me from Nigeria. Thank you.
Farah Amadi, please, can you unmute and speak? Hands up.
Yes, it's not a question that I have. I just wanted to point out that even if you are not a minor, sextortion is a crime.
Yeah, it is a crime. It is a crime. Even if you are in 80s, it's a crime. It's bullying and it's a crime to use your pictures against you. It's mental harassment and it is a crime. I want to highlight something here. So generally, these predators or the people, those who tell you that I have your private videos or pictures and I will be posting it in Instagram or Facebook, that's not true because Meta, Insta, they have algorithms where they do not allow nudity when they post it. The only channel which is of danger is WhatsApp. But right now, with the rising of the awareness, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, they do not allow any nudity pictures to be uploaded. So without awareness, victims sometimes feel that, oh my God, now it will be public and my dignity will be at cost. But the fact here is that no, it will not be. And suppose to say for any reason somebody posts it, then we have enough technology. I know Nigeria would also be having, and globally we have it. Within 48 hours, those kind of pictures from any kind of sites or any kind of uploads can be deleted. So there's nothing to be worried about. No picture, no videos are more important than your dignity and safety.
Okay, thank you all so much for joining us today. Please, does anyone have any more comments or questions for our guest speaker? So she could address it now and then we round up. Any more question? Okay, so with that, I think we've come to the end. Thank you so much, Bashir, for sharing your knowledge with us. It's a pleasure partnering with you, and we hope to have this more often than we expect. So thank you all for joining in. To round this up, I would like to call our program advisor, Madam Kemi, to please give us a vote of thanks and round the whole section up for us. Madam Kemi, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. All right, so on behalf of the CYPF National Coordinator, Mr. Olatosin Kolawole, we would like to say thank you very much, especially to Vasha. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming to educate us while still commemorating the 16 days of activism. And thank you for really making this very clear, practical, making it so real with scenarios that is something that we can really relate with. And like we all know, it cuts across countries. Yes, it's not something that is unique to a particular country. So thank you for your time. Thank you also for providing practical tips, for providing the information we need when when we get to meet someone that is going through all of these challenges, where they can be directed to seek help. Thank you very much once again. And thank you to every single person that joined the call. I know that it's a weekend. We have a lot of things to catch up with, but we still took out time to join. Thank you again, everyone. And we'd like to wish you all a good evening and enjoy the rest of your evening or your time. Thank you very much, everyone. And like Gladys said, we hope to have more of this so that we have these kind of conversations will continue and we're able to continue to create awareness on these issues and help a lot of girls and even boys that are going through any form of digital violence. Yeah. All right.
So
thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you so much for your time as well, attention, and your courage to listen to this difficult topic. Please, this doesn't stop here. Actually, it will be a success if you carry this message to your friends, your schools, your families, your communities. The more we talk about sextortion and online safety, the less power these criminals get. So together we can say that empowering every voice, ending cyber silence, because every click deserves respect. On behalf of Cyber Harassment Support and CYPF Nigeria, thank you everyone. And I would just want to end with a note. If you see something, say something. We cannot ignore this. We need a society where everybody is respected, everybody has the dignity online. Thank you. Thanks for calling me.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank
Thank you,
you once
everyone,
again.
for joining in and interacting. We hope to have more of this. Thank you, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you. You too. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, thank you.